G'day everyone, it's Justin and Scott, two dads again from Australia. Now mate, we've checked out a few fun and friendly cars over this last year, haven't we? Now, the big criteria I suppose that we've seen is that a lot of these fun and family cars really been up to about 5 seats, haven't they?
Yep.
So I thought, you know, what do you do if you've got the big family, that you got the need to actually put more people in the car than 5 seats? Is there anything really out there that might give you that fun and family friendliness?
Yep.
So I thought today we'd bring down the new Mazda CX-9. Now, we've had some experience with Mazdas last year.
Yep.
And yeah, they are fun to drive, aren't they?
Yep.
So I thought we'd bring this down to see whether the new CX-9 7-seater still has a bit of fun about it, but the practicality as well.
Yep. Sounds good.
Yep.
Yep.
Want to go for a drive?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, mate. We're in the new CX-9. This has just come to Australia, actually. It's came late last year.
Yep.
Replaces the old CX-9, which was I believe you had a look at about 9 years ago.
When it first came out, the weekend it came out, it was a car I'd waited for a while to have a look at, and looked at it. Yeah.
Okay. What are your impressions? What do you think?
Quite refined. I think, especially we're talking about a family 7-seat car. This looks quite refined, very luxurious, really. So initial impressions are very good. Yeah, it looks like quite a lot of safety features, and there's lots of buttons, but it all feels like it's wrapped around you quite well. So, yeah.
I think the materials, it's very nice, isn't it? Like the quality of the materials, yeah, first class, isn't it?
It is very nice.
Yeah. Okay. Why don't we go for a drive?
Let's do it.
Now, mate, we're in the top of the range Mazda CX-9. This is the Azami all-wheel drive model, they call it. It has a list price in Australia of about $63,390. CX-9 range in Australia starts off at about $42,500 for a sport front-wheel drive model. So there's about 4 different models that you can choose from. This car has the 2.5 litre 4-cylinder. It's a new engine, turbo SkyActiv engine, which puts out about 170 kilowatts and 420 newton meters of torque. It's, as I said, a petrol engine, so it's good. It runs on normal unleaded too. You don't need to put premium in it as well.
So what I'm hearing is one engine across the whole range.
One engine across the whole range.
4 different models, though, giving different specs.
Yeah.
Yep. And
That's
within
right.
that, then you can choose between having all-wheel drive or just 2-wheel drive.
That's right.
So 2-wheel drive standard, and then the all-wheel drive's an option.
Yep.
On top of that. Okay.
That's right.
Yep. So it's a fairly simple choice for people, but there's plenty of choice in there.
Yeah. I think because the car has gone to a 4-cylinder engine, it's probably to address one of the biggest issues the previous model had, was fuel economy.
Yes.
The old model had the old 3.7 V6, had a lot of power. I think it put out about 204 kilowatts, 366 newton meters, but this new engine, more economical, but puts out more torque. So it does on paper, I guess. The official figures, 8.4 litres per 100 kilometres.
Yep.
And she's a big car too, like it's 1,924 kilos, so it's just under 2 tonne.
Yep.
So, yeah. It's quiet, isn't it?
It is very quiet, yes. It's very nice. Actually, to the point where when you first turn it on, you're not quite sure if you have turned it on. You can only just hear the engine noise.
Oh, okay.
So, but I think when you're accelerating, you're getting a little bit more noise. But on the whole, yeah, it seems it goes with that refined feel. When we got into it, it's also very quiet. Yeah.
It's full of like the modern convenience features, like with the Mazda MZD system here. You can get it's got DAB as standard. It's got Pandora, Stitcher, all that kind of stuff, so you can get your internet radio and things like that. You know, the climate control, air conditioning, heated seats. You know, the controller is a circular control here and that, so it's pretty good. It's full of USB ports, this thing too. There's I think 4 in total. There's 2 in the back, there's a couple in the front. It's got power outlets as well, so if the kids want to plug in their devices, it's pretty good that way. So yeah. The CX-9 comes with a 3-year unlimited kilometre warranty as well. It's got cap price servicing as well.
Oh, okay, yep.
I mean, this car's full of all the safety features too. I mean, it's got the head-up display, it's got, you know, the lane departure warning, it's got radar cruise control with stop-start, you know, it's got the blind spot, everything that you'd want to have at that price it comes with, which is good.
Yep.
What do you think of the ride?
Yeah, I was just feeling that. We're going around a roundabout just then. There's a little bit of body roll. Probably the amount you'd expect for a car of this size. It certainly handled all the bumps. Got pretty rough roads around here. It's just rolling over the bumps. It's feeling quite good.
Yeah, it's running 20-inch wheels too, so I think considering that, it's riding pretty well.
Oh yeah. I'm not getting many bumps at all, so it's a smooth ride.
Yeah.
So this car in day-to-day is going to do a lot of the school run, I would have thought.
Yeah.
You need to do some longer trips with the family, holidays and things like that. So it's got to achieve a lot of purposes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you really want something that's zippy enough around the city and get in and out of the traffic.
Yep.
As much as it can be for a 7-seat car.
Yeah.
But then you want something that's also going to work on the open road and give you reasonably good fuel economy, be able to pack up. So looking at the boot in the back, it looked pretty big, even with the third row of seats up.
Yeah, it's massive when you fold those seats down. So,
yeah, so you've got the choice of folding everything down and having that practicality. If there's only 3 in the back, but if you need extra kids, you've still got some space there.
Yeah.
Yep. And I think if you look at a car like this, the 7 seats, the seats in the back have really been well thought through, right? So they're not just an afterthought where they've thrown them in the back at compromise to everything else.
Yep.
You know, those seats in the back aren't made for a full-size adult, so there's definitely, it's aimed at the family market, but you could still fit a reasonable-sized person in that third row, and millions of room in that middle row. I can't believe how much space is there. It's like a limousine there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Plenty of space.
Yep.
One thing I have noticed though, as you mentioned about kids and long trips, the third row there doesn't have any air conditioning vents or controls or anything like that.
Okay.
Yeah, which I think is a bit of a negative, because as you say, you know, the kids need that ventilation in the back there, don't they?
Yeah, I think that's been a challenge with the third row of seats, having visibility and ventilation.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you know, what are kids likely to do when they're playing on their devices or something in the third row on a long trip?
Yeah.
Looking down, they're going to start getting car sick. So, yeah, it is something I prefer to see, ventilation in the back.
I like the leather trim too, because, you know, if you spill something, it's easy to wipe up, isn't it? So.
Yeah, my personal preference, I wouldn't buy a family car that doesn't have leather, just because of that exact reason, especially when the kids are young.
Yeah.
You know, some of the nice cars I had with nice, you know, seats got ruined because things got spilt on them and you just can't clean them. Yeah. So leather's great for that.
But I guess people don't buy these things because they want to, do they? It's because they have to.
That's absolutely what I was buying it for. It was practicality. I had to, you know, get 4 kids around, dogs and heaps of gear. You know, imagine when you pack up 4 kids to go to the beach, right?
Yeah.
You need to pack up stuff, kids. You need a big car.
Yep. So I want to know how you feel about whether this is actually a little bit more fun to drive.
Yeah, because I think it ticks the practicality is a no-brainer, right? Like it's run really, really well. You know, and put 7 kids into this. You know, there might be a few little things we might see that could be improved, but on the whole, it looks like it's really good. Yeah, so how do you lug around 2 tons, you know, up to 5 kids and luggage and do it with a bit of fun?
You put it in sport mode.
Are you going to let me at this stage engage the sport mode?
Mate, you're driving.
Oh, the sports mode certainly adds a bit of fun. Got enough power to do what it needs to do. We've just gone up quite a steep hill there, and that they handled that with aplomb.
Actually, yeah, they went around the corner really well, didn't they? So, yeah. The sports mode coupled with the handling of the car, it actually is fun to drive, considering it's a big SUV.
Yeah, it sounds a lot better too when you've got it in the sports mode.
Yeah.
Yep.
Kind of manoeuvres well around the narrow streets too, doesn't it?
Yeah. You know, it's important for a family car to drive pretty easily, I think, and this does do that. I mean, it's a fairly small steering wheel. It feels really comfortable. It's certainly getting around corners and stuff. It's really easy. Navigates navigates all the little bits we're going around today, bits of road work and roundabouts and everything very easily. So no one's going to have a problem driving this, whether this be the husband or the wife or whoever in the family's driving it. They'll drive it very easily.
It's a big car, like it's over 5 metres long, but I think it hides its bulk, doesn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. I got to say, if you put this engine into a Mazda 3, what a car you'd get.
You have to leave one of the kids at home though, mate. You haven't got enough seats.
Take this out of this car, put it in a Mazda 3, please.
Don't waste it.
Don't waste it. All right, mate. Now, getting back to our original question, okay, big family SUVs. If you're a car enthusiast, it's probably not the sort of car that you'd want to drive. It's one that you'd
choose
have to drive.
Yep.
Yeah. Just thinking about that, you've had a drive of the CX-9. What are your thoughts?
Well, it's a big, functional family car.
Yeah.
But but it does drive really well, right? I'm really excited that this new engine they've put under there has got a bit of excitement to it, and yet it has still brought the new fuel efficiency that the car needed to market as well. So
Yep. I think the handling for something this big, it's pretty good. Actually, yeah, I'd actually say it is fun to drive. Would you say that?
Yep, I would say it's fun to drive.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Okay.
And I think it's exciting that I think we were saying there's 4 models, but every one of them comes with that same engine, right?
Yep.
So, and today we reviewed the top of the line one, which is obviously very refined, very luxurious.
Yep.
But I'd say there's have to be some pretty good value in those lower level models, because you've got the same engine, a lot of the stuff is the same, you've got all that practicality is all the same.
Yep.
So I'd be really encouraging people to find out where that greatest value is, whether that's at the entry level one or the top of the line one. It'll be different for different people, but they all come with some of the great standard features that we liked about the car today.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, mate, just on that, what we all normally ask, the X Factor question, is it the kind of car that you would sort of look back after you've parked it, check your reflection out in the mirror when you're driving past and that?
I think the reality is it's a family friendly car, so it's big. I'm not sure I'd look back at it, but when I was walking towards the car, I'd be proud of driving this car. It's a very refined, good looking car. And for the challenge that is when it's a big car, they've done a great job of the design of this car, I think. Yep.
I think it's got that Mazda traditional sort of styling now. It's got that Kodo design to it. And, for the size of the car, it actually suits it, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think they've done a great job.
Yep. Okay. Just want to put out a great big thank you to our friends at AMR Mazda at Petersham for the loan of the CX-9 today. And just want to put out a big thank you to everybody out there for keeping the views going and watching us. And I guess we'll see you next time, eh?
Great. See ya.
Bye-bye.